Enchanté.
Good morning, adventurers.
Good morning.
We are in Luxembourg today. We made it over from Vianden, where we were in our last video. By the way,
Luxembourg City.
Luxembourg City. Oh yes, for those of you who are not familiar with Luxembourg, it is a country, but then Luxembourg is kind of the main city. So it's the country and the city are both called Luxembourg. We are going to get out and explore the city today. There's tons of architecture and history and lots of stuff to see. We're going to do our best to see as much as we can in one day. And we'll be able to come back and spend more time here, but we're doing a road trip and we like just kind of bounce around and seeing as much as we can when we're doing a road trip. But before we head into the city, we found a coffee shop right down the road from where we were staying. It's called Coffee Shop Notes. I got a cappuccino and Allison went with the iced latte. We've already tried them. They're both very good. Mine's a bit stronger, so I
Yes.
think I made the right call.
Yeah, he probably did. I was hoping for a little bit stronger, but at least it's really good. And they give you a paper straw, which is so cool. All right, we will get our caffeine fix and then we'll be off to explore Luxembourg. What did you do?
Well, I was getting a sweet slow-mo shot right here. I was like, ooh, yeah, and then I stepped right on this thing and twisted my ankle, and then I fell into this wall, and then I scratched my arm all up. Is it bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh, it is bleeding.
It's bleeding a bit.
But the shot, I think, was pretty decent until I almost died.
It turns out the entire country of Luxembourg, especially Luxembourg City, is just made up completely of hills. You guys, our legs and calves and quads and butts are gonna be looking fantastic after this.
The first thing we wanted to scope out was this insane view of the city. This is the Chemin de la Cornichon, which is this path that goes along these ancient stone walls. Some of it's built into the mountainside over here. The ancient quarters are actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and I think they gained that status in around 1994. So that means it is all very well preserved for us to just come up here and take in and enjoy. Guys, we ran into a couple viewers. They just stopped us and they were like, Allison? We were like, how do you know us?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
They're from San Francisco, where we used to live. That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, thanks for stopping us. I hope you guys are enjoying Luxembourg, because we are.
Yes, you guys are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Well, they're the nicest people ever.
I know. Oh, that we always say, if you see us out and about, please come and say hello to us. We might be a little awkward, but we try to be not that awkward, just like I'm doing right now.
This right here was actually a castle, and it was purchased, I think, in the 1st century, and the guy who purchased it called it a tiny castle. That was how it translated. But now it's not much of a castle anymore. It's mostly in ruin, and you can walk all along it. I think we're going to try to go beneath it. There's little caves down there, which we'll tell you more about when we get there.
We have descended into the depths of the hill in what's called casemates, I believe. I kept calling them casements, and Eric corrected me. Apparently they're casemates du Bock, or the Bock Casemates. They're these really old tunnels all down through the hillside here. They were first started in the 1600s. Since then, they have been home to soldiers. They were bomb shelters during World War II. I think it said 35,000 people came down in here during World War II to escape bombs, which is pretty insane. I read that people would be down here with their horses. There were bakers, there were people just living out their normal lives down here throughout the years. It's pretty wild. These are definitely huge. Some of the biggest underground caves we've ever been through, I think. A lot of the tunnels have actually been destroyed, but there are still 17 kilometers left. So can you imagine still? And that's only a portion of what used to be.
So you can get properly lost down here. But
yeah.
Luckily they have lots of signage, so.
Yes, they do say sortie different ways, so we'll get out one way or another. We forgot to grab a little map before we came in here, so we have no brochure telling us what's what or where to go. We're just walking around blind, and so far all we've done is gone in a lot of circles, up and down and up and down.
Lots of stairs.
So
So get a map.
Get a map or come and take one of the tours. They have different tours throughout the day. Or you can always just bumble through like us, I guess. It's kind of fun. Nope, dead end.
Oh, this is a dead end too.
Nope.
No! No! We might be down here forever, guys. For years, I've been trapped down here. How I long for the caress of a woman, the warmth of a bright sunny day, cold beer in my hands. Maybe one day I will find the exit.
I think it's just right down here, actually.
Oh, forget all that. Acting. Jesus.
We came down to the other side of the river to the area called Grund, and we're just looking back up at where we just were. All those little windows up there, some of them had the cannons and everything, and you could look out from in the tunnels. That's really neat. There's so many.
We were deep in this whole hillside. It's really cool to see it from this perspective, because when you're in there, you don't know where the hell you are.
No. Also, pro tip, if it's raining or really warm out, that is a wonderful spot because it is nice and cool and shaded in there. We walked and we walked and we walked and we walked and we walked back up that hill. It was so hard, and then we realized we were really close to this bakery called Oberweis, which is actually the only restaurant that our bed and breakfast hosts in Vianden recommended. He said, here's where you park and here's the bakery that you go to. So we popped in, and oh my goodness, it is quite an experience. We kept it traditional and got a Quetschen tart. We'll put it on the screen. It's a long word, but basically it's this little plum tart, and you can get them really big, or I guess 2-person size, maybe 1-person size, depending on who you are. But this is invented here in Luxembourg.
This tart is basically eggs, milk, butter, and sugar, all the best things in life. And then these plums are just piled on top, and the whole thing is baked together. It's nice and juicy in there. The plums are just exploding off the top of it, which it almost looks a little alien-like, but also really appetizing at the same time. And I think this is going to be pretty dang tasty. Check that out. So you've got it's actually pretty solid on the bottom, and then it slowly gets more moist as it gets up to this layer of goo where the plums have been sitting. Oh, it's really tart. The consistency of the dough is great. It has a lot of flavor. The plums are so good. They're just a burst of sugary sweetness. They just have such a fruitiness to them. And the whole thing is really tart and sweet at the same time. And you know it's really not overly sweet. I'm always afraid that tarts like this are just going to be so sweet, but their sweetness really comes from the plum and not really anything else in there. It's just a little bit buttery and flaky dough down there. And this is super tasty. I'd eat this whole thing on my own easily.
We also tried to get a pretzel, which is a sweet pretzel that is very famous here, but they just sold out. So I guess this will have to do.
That plum flavor, am I right?
Oh,
it's amazing.
So good. Ooh, it is tart. That is fabulous. Oh man. Well, that pastry was delicious, but now it is time for dinner, and sadly, it is all the way back down the hill. So I guess we will get to walking. Psych! They have a friggin' elevator over here! No more hills for us today. At the edge of the platform that goes out to the elevator, they actually have a bunch of glass so that you can look down too!
Oh. Wow, that actually is terrifying.
I'm too scared to do it.
I'm glad if this glass was crystal clear, it'd be a lot scarier, I think. And there's the city. It's pretty cool. It's actually a really nice view. So come for the view, then go down in the elevator.
Yeah, so that's how far we have to go down. Some of you would walk it, but now you don't have to because you know there's a glorious elevator. Well, we arrived to our dinner spot. Let's just go in. Oh wait, it's closed for an entire freaking month. Why does this always happen to us?
Some bad luck.
Shoot, at least we didn't walk down here, right? So we could just take the elevator back up.
We were actually right near another place earlier, but we thought this one would be a little bit more of a local experience because it's a little further from the tourist zone. But that was a fail. Although I smell food in the air.
Maybe
we just need to go find something.
Around a little bit.
But so you know, the name of the place is Bay de Bowen, something like that. Can't really say if it's good, but
yeah,
give it a try.
It's supposed to have really good food, like typical of Luxembourg, but I guess we'll just have to keep looking.
What is this? I don't get it. Is this a self-driving car? I've never actually seen one in the wild. Yep. The sign says right here, it's a electric driverless shuttle.
And it's free.
That's amazing. We would have jumped on it, but it happened so fast we don't know where it's going. No.
The elevator, the free automated shuttle, Luxembourg. I'm digging it. We just took the elevator back up to the main part of the city because our restaurant was closed and we couldn't find anything down there that had the dishes that we wanted to try. But Eric came through and he found this lovely place and we got a bunch of local goodies. I'm so excited. So first off, this bad boy is the planche de terroir, right? Terroir?
Yeah, it's kind of like the plank of the soil.
Yes.
Loosely translated.
So it should be a lot of local meat. So we have some hams, some salami. This is beef salad. But what we're really after is this little goodie right here. Paychecks. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, but it's a local cheese that's from here in Luxembourg. It's very potent.
Ooh. I mean, it's pungent, but it smells good.
Yeah. We also got this guy, which is Jude Matt Gardebunen. Something like
nice
that.
Job.
It is smoked ham with broad beans and potatoes. And it looks like there's some bacon on there. Oops, I got some on me. And then they give you a little side of the bean sauce so you can add more. This is the national dish of Luxembourg though. So I figure you gotta try it when you're here, right? This is smoked, I believe it's, was it neck of pork? Something interesting. And then these are broad beans on top, but it says that the meat is smoked and then it is, I think, boiled with a bunch of spices. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's smoked collar of pork. So I'm assuming this area of a pig. I don't know. Well, whatever it is, it's absolutely delicious. It's really salty at first, but then you get the smoky aftertaste. The broad beans are nice. They're a mix, I'd say, between pinto beans and peas. I don't really love peas, but these are pretty nice. They're really buttery, and then the sauce that they're in is almost gravy-like, like a brown gravy, and then the potatoes are just boiled to perfection, but the meat is super tender. This is great.
This is the cheese, and you can see that as it's sat here, it's got this kind of caramelized layer on the top. Wow, this is unlike any cheese I've had before. Look at this layer that's formed on the top.
It almost looks like honey.
It looks like glue.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. I'm gonna try the cheese just on its own so I can get a better sense of it. Oh, it's very chewy. Oh, it's actually really tasty. That is unlike any cheese that I've ever had. It's got this like oily butteriness. The top layer is hard and it's solidifying, and then the inside of it is still really creamy and gooey. The taste is really subtle though, it's not super pungent. Well, we were completely blown away by the food. If you guys are wondering about the prices here in Luxembourg, we're in kind of the touristy area. We tried to get a little bit outside of it for the other restaurant we wanted to go to, but it was closed. But this place came highly recommended, and the prices are like 18 to 20 euro for a meal for a dish like this.
I'd say 18 to 30 euro. Yeah. This one was actually 24, I believe, euros, and that was 18. But still not so bad.
But I have to say that all of the food, these meats especially, are just so fresh and flavorful tasting. The cheese blew me away. That's been my favorite thing so far, is just so much flavor in it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and we forgot to mention.
Sorry, I dropped my fork.
We forgot to mention that we are drinking some local wines from this region. So they're known for Chardonnay and Riesling. And we gotta say, they are very affordable, about 350 euros to 450 euros a glass. They're very good. Some are dry, some are sweeter, mostly on the drier end though. Oof. It's just a lovely meal. We are too hungry though, so we are gonna turn the camera off and just finish all this. Tomorrow we will be heading down into France. We're gonna be staying at a place that's very neat, a place unlike any place we've ever stayed before. Yes. We are very excited to show it to you guys. Good night, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road.